Inanna is a Mesopotamian goddess with insatiable sexual appetite, but she has this bad habit of sleeping around, and then she kills them, whoever she sleeps with, whether it's a god or human or animals. I know that part of the story, that summary, is so loaded, you don't know where to concentrate, whether it's on that part where she destroys everybody she sleeps with, or the fact that she sleeps with anybody, whether it's a god, a human, or an animal. But that's how she rolls. Okay, Inanna is a Mesopotamian goddess of war, sex, and fertility, and she's one of the most popular goddess, and there's so much about her story, but I will just talk about one aspect of the story, and that's how she ended up in in hell. So I don't know where this habit of killing everybody, destroying everybody that she sleeps with started. It might have started when she was raped. She was actually raped by a gardener called, I'm sorry, I have to read because it's so hard to pronounce, Shukaletuda. Shukaletuda is the name of the gardener, and she was sleeping under a tree in his property. He found her, raped her, and she was so angry that I think she flooded she flooded the earth. She covered the earth with storms, and she tormented people with diseases. And then she eventually found the guy that raped her, and she killed him. Now, as I said, maybe that's where her tendency to kill and destroy all these men, human or animals, that she sleeps with. So there was this, I think there was this one bird she slept with, and she broke the wings. And then there was this lion. She dug a pit for the lion and buried the lion. And then there's also the horse that so after that she had the horse whipped to death. And then there's also this shepherd whom she turned into a wolf, and a gardener who she turned into a dwarf. So the king, she wanted to sleep with King Gilgamesh, but Gilgamesh already knew of her reputation, so he refused. He didn't want to sleep with her, rightfully so, because he knew he was going to die. And Inanna was so angry that she released the bull of heaven. Now, King Gilgamesh had to battle the bull of heaven. Luckily for King Gilgamesh, he won, so he killed the bull of heaven. Unfortunately for King Gilgamesh, it gave Inanna access to the underworld, because she had to attend the funeral of the bull of heaven. Now, the ruler, Ereshkigal, asked Inanna to take a piece of her clothing every time she passes through one door of hell, and she had to pass through 7 doors of hell. So by the time that she made it inside, she was totally naked. Now she was totally naked, and she was punished by Ereshkigal, the guy who actually said that she had to take a piece of clothing every time she passed through one gate. She punished her, so she turned her into a corpse and hanged her upside down. And I thought that was really unfair. Now, Enki, I think, is the name of the other god, and thought that, hey, that's not fair. You made her take off a piece of her clothing, and then every time she passed through a gate, and then now you punished her for being naked once she made it inside. And so he rescued her, but the thing is that no one is actually allowed to leave the underworld. And so they told her, if you want to leave the underworld, you need to make a trade. For somebody has to take your place. Now, Inanna actually had 7 servants, and she just refused to give any of her 7 servants, because she needs them just to serve her. So she said, no, I'm not going to sacrifice any of my 7 servants, but you can have my husband instead. She had no, Dimitsu, I think is the name. She had no problem giving up the husband, but she wouldn't give up any of her servants. I mean, they didn't do anything wrong, but apparently she felt like the husband didn't mourn for her enough, and so she said, you can take my husband." So she gave up her husband, and then she had the temerity to mourn her husband. The end.